I'm going to make these beautiful Christmas cards. So I've set up batch production and I'm just going to show you how I made them. So I use the sophisticated sledge, that's what it's called. So it's on your standard 8 and a quarter, and you score at 4 1/4, and of course it's by 5 7/8. So just going to score that in half. There we go. And I set up my stamping platform. So whatever stamping platform, whatever verse you want to do, I tend to set it up so that every one will be the same with whatever verse you want. I tend to do mine upside down like that, so I print upside down so that I can just slot it in that way, print it, and that's done. Right, so I've got a piece that's 3 inches by 6 inches. So any sort of Christmassy backdrop of card you've got, these were free at one celebration. These were from an old set we had. So there's lots of different cardstock, DSP, sorry, that you could use. Anything you fancy, with a fairly plainish background, or you know, something like this with the snowing or the stripes or the stripes like that. So there's several things you can use to do this. So I'm gonna set it and I eyeball it, so I'm going to do it so it goes right to the bottom, and if I stand my card up and push my DSP down, so that's going to give me level at the bottom, so therefore it should be level all over. And then these are 1/4 inch by 5 7/8. So I've done these exactly, this is real red, done these exactly, and I'm just going to stick them because I just think just putting that bit of red offsetting against the white, it just really, I feel, sets it off. So I like to do that, and it's a way when you've used up a lot of your red cardstock and you're struggling for red cardstock, so you can't afford to do a mat at the back of it in total red. It's another way of just lifting your card and not using a great amount of cardstock, because you can get loads out of when you batch producing. Just got a glue strand there, I just want to get that off. There we go. Right, now I'm going to leave that for a minute to completely dry so that I don't gog up my scissors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the cutout sleigh. Now what I've done is I've left the sleigh in the the sleigh wooden part. I've left it in what I cut it out. So just make it bigger than your sleigh. If you want to know what this is, it's about just over 8 centimeters, 8.3 by 6, just over 6 centimeters, and just pop that back in. Now I've not got any brown woody cardstock, so it's the Early Espresso. I haven't got any of that, or Pebble Party or anything like that. So I thought I'd use and this is an old colour that is the come to me. Do you know, my brain, it doesn't work at all these days. I'm very sorry. Come on, you? It'll come in a bit. I'll keep working on it coming. So you could even use the Very Vanilla. So that will be another cardstock you could use. You could use white. And if you just go over it like this, it really does give it a nice wooden effect anyway. So I've really liked it. It nearly come to me colour I've got then. So just gonna just keep going over it a bit, making it a bit darker. You can do it as dark or as light as you want. Sahara Sand, you see, I told you it had come to me, and it did eventually. So Sahara Sand, it is, but as I say, very vanilla, even white. You could work doing this method so that you can get yourself a brown sledge wooden effect. And also I cut out all these, of course, ahead of time, the sledge itself. So again, in fact, what I did on this, I put it on some paper. It somehow helped to stop it slipping about, of course. And with it being fine, you can soon ruin it. Because I'm doing it with a big brush, not a little brush. I'm doing it with the larger size of the blending brushes. You can do this. Now, if you followed me a long time, you'll have known that I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the past. I've joined a few times. I love the products. I'm not a current demonstrator now at all, but I find their cardstock the best because it works well with stamping and colour blending. So, and I like the dies and the stamps are good. Now, when I've bought things, I've always said that I have bought them because I've liked them. So I've not gone, even when being a demonstrator, and bought loads and loads of stuff that I'm not really keen on. I've only ever bought the stuff that I like. So I, though stupidly, one of the cell groups, that somebody wanted the poinsettia set, and I thought, oh, I could sell that. I could sell it. I've done lots of Christmas cards with the poinsettia. Time for change, so I will sell it. And then when they brought this out, I wanted a poinsettia for this middle here. And I thought, oh, I've got rid of my poinsettia. However, I have just invested in a Cricut Joy Extra, and I can remember the size roughly of the poinsettia, and I thought, right, I will I'll have a go at making some. So I actually got my sheet. I've got my sheet. Oh no, I can't find it. But what I've done is I made myself a big sheet, and I made lots of them so that I could make this little poinsettia. So I sized it, and if you can see if it's going to hold it, it has got like the leaf-in type scoring on it, but I just used my take your pick tool. I just put the scoring blade in here, used a ruler. In fact, then I got where I didn't even bother using a ruler, and I just drew a line down and drew some lines like that on every single one of them, and I'm very pleased with what it's come out like. So that's something, you know, this is my tool that I've used for a long time. I didn't think I'd get used to that one, having had the just the actual take your pick pokey tool, we used to call it, the pokey tool. I thought, oh, I'll not get used to that, but it's never out of my hand. I use it absolutely all the time. It's just fantastic, just love it. So we're going to stick, so I've just stuck that across. I'm only going to go down on the sledge, and then I'm going down the center with my glue, and then I'm just roughly going across in 3 places, and I found that worked. So I just position it roughly, leaving about just under 1 centimetre at top and round about 1 centimetre at the bottom, so it goes like that. Then I cut out 2 green of the foliage from the sophisticated sledge, so a darker green and a lighter green. So this is evergreen, which is not available anymore, but of course I've got the cardstock, so I was trying to think what would go nice with garden green. Now there is a lot. If I'd have got old olive, I would have preferred to have gone old olive, but I haven't got enough of old olive. If I've got any, I've got very little left of it. So this is garden green that I'm using now. So I've just set that first one so that it comes lower on the left hand side, and now I'm going to make my garden green go level with it, so that gives a little bit of the evening evergreen, and then you're coming down with your come on brain, with your garden green. Right, now you can use, of course, a dimensional in this now, but I accidentally bought some 3D, I just wanted the narrow ones, and I bought the 3D glue dots, and so I'm going to use them, so because I've got to use them up. So but you can just as easily use the dimensionals there. So let me just move that out of the way, and I'm just going to face that maybe the other way a minute. Right, so I'm going to bring back in my card now. I'm going to open it up, so you can see I've got a little bit of the red sticking up, and then I've got the rest of my paper, and then it seems that I've done a little bit on the bottom. So I always like to make them a little bit bigger, and then you can cut it absolutely to your card. So make sure, now this is important, you've got your verse the right way, so that you're going to set everything right now, because you don't want an upside down Christmas card. So I've got a Merry Christmas. So any of you Merry Christmas. There's several ways of doing this. You can do like I have done and have a die cut one. You could actually just, because this is real red and this is real red, you can do just a Merry Christmas going across the bottom and slant your card. That could go up on dimensionals if you wanted to, or stick it directly down to your card. Now this card is bulky, so I'm planning this will be my neighbour's card this year, so I will hand deliver these, so they're not going through the post. They're going to be my neighbours. So my Merry Christmas, so as I say, if you did one across the bottom with a Merry Christmas there, I, as I say, have got one that is a die cut. So I'm just going to put that. So I'm looking for equal increments there, but I want it right at the bottom because the sleigh is quite big. So what I've done is put that at the bottom, and then I'm going to bring back in the sleigh now, and the sleigh, I'm going to use this point here on the sleigh, so your left hand point, I'm going to have that as a guide for me. So I'm now going to go all around my sledge. Okay, so I'm just going to go, got a bit of red there. Okay, I'm going to go all across my sledge, just up the sides around there, and I think I've gone there. Okay, and so I'm going to use that on the left hand side, and the part of the last part of the M, I'm just going to angle that like that. So I'm putting my sledge at an angle, but putting it quite down, so it's going to go like that. Okay, and then I've got some foliage, so whatever foliage you've got, this happens to be out of Sweetest Times, these bits of foliage. So I've just cut these out in gold, just thought that set it off. I always like to have some silver and gold on my Christmas cards if I can. So I've cut out 4 of these. They're only little, but as I say, you could use the foliage out of the Cheerful Daisy. That's got something that you could possibly use in there. So I want to stick it under my poinsettia. Oops, I've pushed that out of the way. I don't want to push that. Let's get it under. Poinsettia going there, and then should have one more. Yeah, it's hiding there. Okay, so put that. I just put it at the edges there. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm really pleased with the size of my what it's turned out, my poinsettia. So I'm just going to tell you the size of the poinsettia. So it's approximately 1 1/4, the biggest part of my poinsettia, I think. Yeah, 1 1/4. So and then going in smaller and smaller. So as I say, I made it on my new Cricut Joy Extra. Okay, so I've done the ice skates, and again I'm just going to go in and pick up, because you thread the laces in, I'm going to pick up one of the 3D. So again, you can use your dimensionals here, and I'm just going to put that a little lower, kicking my boot up a little bit, and then again I'm going to do the other one. So again, I'm going to put it in there, and what it does when you're picking it up, I'll just show you, the glue dot or your dimensional, just pick up that lace, so that's going to hold it in position. I'm just going to put this a little higher and angle it the same way, so I'm going to put it about there. And then I thought the blades I've just cut out with silver card, so they're going to go on the boots, and I just think that helps finish it off. Right. Now, if you follow me regularly, what I'm using for the centre is some glitter cards. So you can use gems if you want to. Lots of gems to go in there. You could put a pearl in there. You could do just any of the standard gems. I like to do the glitter paper. So what I do is I back it with double-sided sticky tape, and then just punch it out with a 1/8 of an inch punch that I've got. Now, Stampin' Up did one many years ago. I wasn't part of Stampin' Up when they did it. I bought this separate anyway. And so when you cut them out, of course, you've got the sticky on the back because you've done it with double-sided sticky tape, or they use the other. And I just think that sets it off with just that little bit of glitter in the centre of the poinsettia. So I think that's a nice Christmas card for this year. So wishing you the hope and peace of Christ this season, because I usually use the one Christmas, Christ begins with Christmas. Christmas begins with Christ. It is. I usually use that one because really Christmas is all about the birth of Jesus. So I tend to use those. So hope you liked that. If you was interested in what I've said about my Circuit Joy, just drop me a comment and I can talk through if you want to make this on your Cricut, if you've got one, or your any of your cutting machines, or you can use any of your poinsettias that you've got. But I just feel that the poinsettia, just really like it there, just feel it finishes it off nicely. So thank you very much for dropping by. Do stay safe, do stay well, and bye for now.